open your book to page 353. So today's lesson is learn how to use some of useful theorems. So the first theorem on page 353 is that it says every polynomial equation of positive degree n has exactly n roots. So what it's saying is this, okay? When you look at polynomial, if it's first power, you're going to get one answer. If you have a square, you're going to get two answers. If it's cube, you're going to get three answers. If it's fourth power, you're going to get four answers. Fifth power, you're going to get five answers, and so forth and so forth. Okay, that's what this theorem is saying. Okay. Now the next one, the next theorem over here, this one is saying that that if polynomial have a real coefficient, means you don't have an I, then if a plus bi is a root, then the conjugate a minus bi is also a root. Okay, so what I is saying is this. Okay, if you look at example 1, okay, you have p of x equal to x to the 4 plus 12x minus 5 equal to 0, and it says that R1 is equal to 1 minus 2i. Okay, so in this case, this is the fourth power, so you're going to get four answers, right? They give you one of them, but if you look, there's no I on here, right? So if there's no I and there's an I over here, in order to get rid of the I, you must have a conjugate. So right away, you know that R2 must be 1 plus 2i. Okay. So once you do that, then you can go ahead and kind of solve already. Okay. Now you can solve by one way is by using the synthetic division, divide by that, which is kind of, you don't want to do that, it's messy. And after that, you divide by this again, right? And whatever left over will be x squared. And you can use factoring, or you can use the quadratic formula to solve. Okay, but you don't want to divide that and then after that you have to divide by this. It's messy. Okay, so what you want to do is, go and use something called a depressed equation. So what you want to do, this came from two two parts. Okay, so this came from two parts. So in other words, you can make this into two factors, and one of the factor. So you want to break this into two factors. Okay, so one of this you can get it from here. Remember what I said about the R1 R2 equation. That's where you need to get that's where you can get the depressed equation or intermediate equations. So from these two came from this one over here. So if you do that, you're going to get x squared minus. So when you add, this cancels out, so you're going to get 2. Right? So when you multiply, you're going to get 1 minus 4, and then I times I is negative 1, so it becomes this. So you're going to get x squared minus 2x plus 5 equal to 0. So these two roots came from these. Okay? So this can break it down into x squared minus 2x plus 5 and something. Okay? So again, these two roots came from these. Okay? So now the only one you're missing is this part over here. Okay? So to get these, you just use the long division. So use the x to the 4 plus 12x minus 5. You divide by x squared minus 2x plus 5. Okay? Plus 5. Now remember, you have to make a space over here, right? And do the long division. You work it out, you get the square equation, and then you can solve. Okay? So we're not going to spend time doing that. Okay? Okay, so that's what you need to do with that. Now, let's go to page 356. So if you look at number 10, you have x cubed minus 2x plus 4 equal to 0. And you have a R1 equal to negative 2 and R2 equal to 1 minus I. So you're looking for the rest of the roots. Okay, so this is x to the 3 power, so you're going to get 3 answers, right? And they give you R1, R2, so you're missing 1. So you're missing R3, right? By looking at it, remember the theorem we learned from before, right? There's no I over here, but there's an I over here. So in order to get rid of this I, you must have a conjugate. So you must have a 1 plus I. Okay? And that's it. Because you're supposed to get 3 answers, and you got 3 answers, you're done. Okay? So when you get to, so you do the rest of them. Now when you get to like number 16, okay, it's going backward. Okay, number 16, okay, you have R1 equal to 1, R2 equal to 3 minus 2i, and you're looking for equations. Okay, you're looking for cube equations. Now, in order to get a cube equation, you need to get 3 roots, right? So you got R1, R2, so you need to get R3. Okay, now by looking at this, what will R3 must be? It must be 3 plus 2i, right? You must have a conjugate, right? In order to get rid of the i, okay? So now, okay, you need to get the cube equation. But again, this one is not too bad, okay? So you're gonna basically, again, there are 2 ways to do this. One is by this one, you're gonna get x minus 1, okay? This one over here, you can use x minus 3 plus 2i, x minus 3 minus 2i, then you have to multiply out. I kind of don't like that. I like to use the R1, R2 equation. Okay. I want to use these two for R1, R2 equation. Now, again, remember what I said, right? The subscripts are flexible. Even it's 1 and 2, over here is 2 and 3. Okay. But don't say, wait, how come this is 2 and 3, this is 1 and 2? How can they substitute? And remember, these are just, dummy, index, right? So you can just use any, numbers, right? You can use 2, 3, you can use 9 and 10, you can use whatever, right? Okay, so these are kind of generic subscripts, right? Okay, so you're going to get x squared minus, when you add, this cancels out, so you're going to get 6x, right? Again, when you add, this cancels out, plus, so when you multiply, this is going to be 9 minus 4, and I times I is negative 1, so this becomes plus, right? So from here, I'm going to get x squared minus 6x plus 13 equal to 0, okay? So instead of doing the trinomial, I can just put this in here. Okay. And then after you just go and distribute and you multiply out. Okay. Again, we're not going to spend time doing that. You're going to end up with x cubed minus 7x squared plus 19x minus 13 equal to 0. Okay. And that's your cube equation. Okay. So you do the same thing for the rest of them, like 18, 20, 22, just do the same thing, okay? Now, so one is forward, one is backward, so they give you the roots, you have to get the equation, and then 20 and 22, they give you the equation, you have to get the roots, okay? Okay, now, if you look at number 20, okay, number 20, you have x cubed plus x minus 10 equal to 0. And you have R1 is equal to negative 1 plus 2i. Okay, so this is the cube equation, so obviously you're going to get 3 answers, right? So the first answer is given, so R2 must be negative 1 minus 2i, right? Okay, then you have to look for R3. Okay, now again, to look for R3, you can go ahead and use your R1, R2 equation. So x squared minus R1 plus R2, right? Okay, so you can get this, right? So x squared. Okay, so this one you add. So when you add, this cancels out, so you're going to get negative 2. Right? When you multiply, okay, so this is going to become 1 minus 4. I times I is negative 1, so it becomes plus. So from here, you're going to get x squared plus 2x plus 5 equal to 0. Okay? So I'm going to use this, divide by this. Okay? Now, when you divide, right? Think about, right? X squared, x cubed divided by x squared, you're going to get what? You must get what? X, right? Have I see that? X cubed divided by x squared, you're going to get x, right? And you don't have to worry about the middle, right? Because you know that you have to be x plus number or x minus number. So negative 10 divided by 5, you're going to get what? Negative 2, right? So this divided by this will give you that. Okay, so you don't have to use a long division, right? Make sense, right? X cubed divided by x squared will give you x. You have to, right? And then negative 10, because you divide exactly, so negative 10 divided by 5 will give you negative 2. Okay, so from here, so from here you can see x equal to 2, and that's your R3. Okay, so this is equal to your R3. So this is kind of the quick way of doing it. Okay. Okay. Or there's another easy way to do this. Okay, you don't have to do all that. Okay, if you know your cube equation, remember x cubed minus r1 plus r2 plus r3, x squared plus something you don't care, x minus something you don't care. Okay, now look over here. From here, if you match, you can see that if you match these things up, you can see negative r1 plus r2 plus r3 equal to 0, right? See the x squared, right? It's 0, right? If you match it up. So now, so times by negative 1, so r1 plus, so when you add this together, it becomes negative 2. So r1 equal to 2. Voila. See? So again, there are so many different ways you can do this kind of problem. Okay? There would be a super hard way, there would be medium hard way, there would be easy way, and there's a super easy way. Okay? So it depends on your knowledge. There's so many different ways you can solve these. Okay? Okay, now let's go back up to number 4. So that's why it's so important to know your root equation, right? The R1, R2 equation. And if you know your R1, R2, R3, a lot of points are super easy. Okay, so let's go to page 356. Let's do number 4. Okay, number 4, it says list the possibility for the nature of the roots of each equation. So number 4, you have x to the 4 plus 2x to the 3 plus 3x squared plus 4 equal to 0. So this one, they want to write down the possibility of how many positive answers you may have, how many negative answers you may have, how many imaginary answers you may have. Okay? And the way to do this is this. Okay? You want to make a table, so positive, negative, and I. Okay? So you want to make a table of all the possibility of the combination of the answers you may have. Again, all you're looking for is how many positive, how many negative, how many I. Okay? Now, the way to do this is by looking, first you need to check, to get a positive answers, you just check how many times it change the sign. So did it change? No, right? Positive to positive doesn't change. Positive to positive does not change. Positive to positive does not change. So there's no change. So be 0. So that means there's no positive answer on this equation. Okay? Now to find so the first time you try, the first one is your max. Okay? The maximum you're allowed to have. So the maximum number of positive answers you may have is 0. So in other words, there's no positive answer in this. Okay? Now let's check the negative. The way to do the negative is you have to replace the x by negative x. Okay? So when you replace the x by negative x, the even exponent will stay the same. Right? Because negative x to the 4th power become x to the 4th. Right? But the odd number will change. Okay? So again, you replace. So you don't want to do this step, but I'm just doing so you can see what I'm doing. Okay? So to find the negative answers, you have to make into a negative x. But again, this will not change, right? You're still going to get x to the 4, and this would be minus 2x to the 3, and this would be plus 3x squared plus 4 equal to 0. So in other words, all the even exponent, this is 0, right? 0 is even, right? So all the even exponent will stay the same, but the one that odd exponent will change sign. Okay? So now let's go and see how many times it changes sign. So from positive to negative, yes. From negative to positive, yes. Positive to positive, no. And that's it. So there are 2. So there are maximum of 2. Okay? The I will be the leftover. So this is x to the 4th power. And you're going to have no positive answers. You're going to get 2 negative answers. That means you must have 2 imaginary answers, right? In order to make up the total 4. Right? So this column will be the leftover. Okay? Now these are the maximum. These are maximum you're allowed to have. But you can have other combinations. Okay? Now, when you look for alternate combination, the positive and negative have to go down by pair because you have to convert to conjugates, right? So another possibility is 0, 0, and 4. Remember, you only can go down, okay, from the original. So this is your original, this is your max. From there, you can go down by pair. So another, instead of have 2 negative, you can have 4 imaginary, right? Again, this is whatever the leftover to make up the total 4 answers. Okay? So your answer would be 022 or 004. Okay? Now let's go and do one more. Let's do number 8. Okay, you got x to the 6 minus x to the 5 plus 2x to the 4 minus x minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, so first let's go and see how many times we change sign. So this one positive to negative, yes. Negative to positive, yes. Positive to negative, yes. Negative to negative, no. Okay, so you're going to maximum of 3 positive answers. Now let's go and check the negative. So again, remember, even stay the same, the odd number change, right? Even stay the same, odd change, right? Okay, this is even, right? Even stay the same. Okay, so now let's go and check. Positive to positive, no. Positive to positive, no. Positive to positive, no. Positive to negative, yes. So you're going to get 1. Okay? So these are your max, right? Now, remember, this is 6 powers, so you need to have 6 answers, right? So you're going to get maximum of 3 positive, 1 negative. So that's 4, so you must have a 2 imaginary, right? Okay? Now remember, now these are your maximum possible, but you can go down, right? So another possibility would be 1, 1, and 4, right? Okay. Again, I column is leftover. This one you can go down by 2s, okay?
Down by 2s.
And, huh?
Just by 2s.
Yeah, because you have to convert one of this pair into conjugate pair, right? Okay. And so again, so these are all your possibilities. So your answer will be 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 4. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so let's go and do some practice.